The reason why we've started this platform is because NIST released several years ago the special publication 800-124, which it sets out guidelines for cell phones and PDA security. NIST recognized, as does the government and all organizations, that mobile devices do provide productivity benefits for people, for the organizations. But the problem is, the more you carry your data, the more you are susceptible to eavesdropping and people hacking into your information. And there's so many ways that you can get eavesdropped upon and have your information taken from you. These are just a few of the attack vectors that we know of. The tower spoofing is one that's relatively easy. For about $500, you can illegally purchase basically a cell phone tower that you can park it in a van outside of a major corporation's offices. And any phones, your phone is designed to pick up the strongest signal from a cell tower, so it'll lock on to the one sitting outside of your office. At that point, the operator inside the van is simply recording every bit of conversations going on between all phones. Another problem can be access at the network facility, which can come in many forms. And a network facility can mean, of course, both a carrier's network facility or your own network facility. You could have a disgruntled employee within your own organization who is sitting there downloading data off your servers or listening at your conversations. You could have someone working at the carrier level who is tapping into one of the backbones and grabbing all the data that flows across the carrier lines. Another problem is third-party application exploits, basically malware. We all heard about malware, and you have your McAfee or your Norton on your computer to prevent against that. But there's not many applications to prevent against the malware on your handheld devices, especially some of the more like the Android devices, which don't have a built-in back-end system like BlackBerry does. Because with BlackBerry, you can lock down the system. Android and iOS, it's a little bit more difficult to lock down, and these devices can get rooted, of course. Once you have a malware on your device, it could be something just like a listener, so that someone has a listener installed on your phone and simply duplicates all audio and sends a copy of all of your audio back to another server that they manage. The one that personally concerns me the most is the unwanted surveillance by government. As we've heard recently, the United States NSA has been collecting metadata from calls from Verizon. We have to assume that most governments do that. In fact, I wasn't really surprised about the NSA revelation. I just assume everything is being listened to if you're not protecting it. We have seen on several occasions when we land in certain countries that the firmware on your device has been changed. Many times this will happen mostly in countries where the state owns the phone carrier, where they can control all the phone traffic. In certain countries where the states do own the carrier, SIMs that are noted or noticed as being foreign or from out of country will be shunted down to a lower network, like a 2G network, where it's very, very simple to hack into that. It's been proven many times that 2G is not very secure, and the GSM protocol, which is the one of the encryption protocols used for carrier transmission, has been broken without a doubt. And why now? As to point out, talking about the GSM problem, two security researchers have discovered a way to determine the location of any GSM handset and to find the name of the subscriber. They simply use a ciphertext-only attack on the GSM protocol and were able to break it. I have heard stories of GSM communities in parts of Eastern Europe where they talk openly of how they have cracked GSM in their little communities. So the GSM encryption is not secure any longer. It has been broken. If not by individuals in the crime syndicates, certainly on the government level. And because of that, the DoD has recommended hardware security as the first line of defense for device data. Main reason is, with hardware defense, or the hardware device, even the device is rooted, you do not get access to the keys, as with some other of our competitors.